Today is February 1st, 2023. Got better. I went in stores. Nothing really said to me. It's got a lot better. Since they realized um, that agent was paying out of my case of embezzling not only for his drug problems, but he was in debt to a gentleman's club in Florida, which is a male prostitution club. They do drugs. And that's why that gentleman's club was here. I went to the gas station at the edge of Louisville. I was talking to the girl, and I said, "Do you remember all those Florida guys that were here? All the Florida plates and all those men?" She's like, "Yeah, I remember." I said, "About a year or two ago, they were all here, everywhere." She's like, "Yeah." I said, "That's who was telling people they were here to protect me. They were helping out, and that's who that agent was in debt to." She went, "Is that why they were all here?" See, they seen them. They were all around Berry Cheese. I don't know if they had fake badges to get in the back, but someone got in. Where they used to say people from like the State Department and get back places. And they were just prostitutes from a gay club that he owed drugs to and for prostitution. That's why they were here. That's why they helped out. You gotta think. And that one tape that I put, how dare that agent bring his family problems into my case? Use my case as a scam. I had enough problems. I had my ex-husband trying to kill me to get everything. I had a minister had lied on me in 2003 in the stupidest lie in the world. But I call people, believe people like that like they're gods. And go along with it when they know better. And just a stupid lie he made up. And they all wanted to get even with me for a lie he made up. Okay? And then 4 attempts on my life. Do you realize how dare that agent, with me dealing with that, and 4 attempts on my life, and people showing up and me being scared, to bring his problems of him being in debt to drug dealers, him being in debt to male prostitutes, that he would use my case as a scam. How dare he? How dare he bring his family problems into my case? He's got problems with male prostitutes. He's got a problem with drugs. Why wasn't the FBI monitoring him and his behavior and his coming and goings? Now I want you to think, how desperate was he when Dave had hit Annie in the board in the face and broke my tooth and ran off to the store? That he asked those people to help kill me, that 3 days later, kicked in my door and started stalking me with body cameras while I was out. Start waking up with bruises and their date rape drug at me. Ketamine, Rofinol, Profenol, injectable. You're sleepwalking chemically for 4 to 6 hours. Photoshopping scenes. How desperate and pathetic pieces of shit are these people to break into an innocent woman's house while she's sleeping and stab her with a drug like that? It's attempt to murder and kidnapping, so she'll only wake up with a bruise. You know, and with realizing that when they kept saying the gentleman's club, Florida was the one watching it, then thinking, what is the gentleman's club? Oh my God, I met somebody before from there. It's a gay club. They do drugs and they service men. It's a male strip club. You know, my one neighbor, Mike, got roofied in a barn. He didn't know I got home. Now he tainted his shoes. How much you want to bet they raped him? And he doesn't know it. That's how sick all this. You've been driving around high all night. You're sleepwalking for 4 to 6 hours. It's called needling somebody. bruises everywhere where those bastards were beating me under drugs. Big as oranges, lemon, grapefruit. Jen and Danny seen him. Dixie seen him. Everybody seen him. They thought I was working too hard and bruised way too easy. And here those bastards, reprobate bastards, were kicking or breaking in my house while I was asleep and stabbing me with those kind of degenerate drugs to defile my body so that they could either beat me, abuse me, or prostitute me. How sick is that agent that picked up my case? He was already the one doing it. Him and his prostitutes that he owed money to. So when I got the house done, and they had been making me barf all summer long, where I couldn't figure out where I was getting banged up so bad. Because when you work, you get little impact bruises. You don't have bruises this big, and this big. I had them everywhere. Everybody seen them. They knew I was almost passing out trying to mow the lawn. I could mow the lawn at Lennox like it's nothing. Walk over to Danny's, walk around his lot, and walk back. I may have been heavy set, but I walked everywhere. Huh? I could mow the lawn. Worked really hard. Must you get his little tiny impact bruises. You don't have these giant ones everywhere. It was them. Do you realize how scared I was to realize where before we moved? The attempt to kidnap me, the attempt to carjack, he took off. He laughed to Dixie that he left me, and he knew it was going to happen. Or he didn't know it was going to happen. Or let me restate that. He laughed at Dixie that he knew it was happening and he didn't come back. And he thought it was funny. He knew it was happening. Okay? We talked about it last time I was there. He said, he laughed at me that he knew you were getting carjacked, attempted carjacking, and he left you. The attempt to break in, they knew where the security system was. The follow and ranting. Went back to that church. And then the attempt to kidnap me in front of Terry, realizing it was that church and Dave the whole time for him to get his freedom and him to get everything. So he wouldn't have to pay me out money. Just do me in. Huh? Think about that. Just do me in. Do you know how scared I was? And how stupid I felt thinking he was only cheating? And then working all summer long to even set up his tools and organize them. Working on that house, outside and in, all summer to get it set up for him to try to kill me again. How stupid I was for our retirement home that we just bought. And them leaving arrogantly Katie Brothers at Ashcroft and Hoke in Belden Village, telling Sarah that worked at sales, where Sarah's manager, older blonde lady, what was it, July or August of 18, her older blonde lady, young girl with brown hair and brown eyes, had went over and worked with from sales to work with Katie Brothers at Ashcroft and Oak. And Sarah stayed at sales. I had known those ladies for years. Mom told me how she was pregnant. Her church was going to have me killed. Then not hanging up on that phone call, thinking I was going to get Dave's girlfriend. And where, ladies getting paid $10 an hour. Find out the church that took up 25 grand to put a hit on my life. And it was Keith Bishop, Strange and Ron, where Dave arrogantly held me down for 30 minutes how I was to die for this new girlfriend. He hired 2 men to kill me. Then tried to claim it was a vivid dream. It was 30 fucking minutes. And he got up and went to work afterwards. Rolled over for a minute, then got up and went to work. He was very much awake. You know how scared I was. That man will hit you with a board in the face. He'll beat hit you with internal injuries. You make him mad. He will. Where we're going to get back. How stupid I felt. Thinking he just was cheating. And then that guy, realizing they had some lady impersonate me. Cost me a job so I couldn't get out there. Up in a new place, I don't even know people. Middle of nowhere. Drugged up and you can't even completely think straight. See, that's why my neighbor came up after he got roofied. I've been sitting in that vehicle for hours. I don't know how I got home. Instead of just going in and laying down and trying to figure it out himself or calling the police, comes up to me and I'm like, oh my God, he's been roofied. You know what I mean? He couldn't figure out where I got the money because you can't process fast enough. You don't afterwards. After you come out of it, even though you've been sleepwalking, you don't process correctly. I'm walking around Giant Eagle. Where are you at? I'm by myself for dinner. Got a phone call. Don't go. Please don't go. I look up and I see they're giving flu shots. I thought it's not even safe for me to be here anymore. Not even safe. I don't know where I'm going to end up when we get a flu shot so I don't get sick. Well, I got it, walked along the long pharmacy, sat down on the bench. Just breathe. Just breathe. You're safe. Breathe. Breathe. You're okay. Getting dizzy. Trying to do self-talking. You're okay. Just breathe. And I hear the voice. I can't believe she's here. And I'm like, oh my God, where is he? It's the same one as I got. He almost kidnapped me that night. Like Terry said, we're going to let you all alive. I know that. It's by the grace of God. I stand up and I turn my card. He comes up behind me. I stab you right here. No, if it wasn't for that security guard. The lady with him was a Pizza Hut lady from Ravenna. Waitress, blonde lady. I'm just gonna stab her. Get over with it. He said, when we get over that security. Well, they're arguing. I got away from them. I walked right into the bank. I want to open an account. To the lady banker. Pizza Hut lady, I look over and she's walking away from me. He comes up and she looks at me in front of the mail banker. I get paid to watch her. He's like, lady, I mean it. Our lady, stay out of this. She's like, no, I get paid to watch her. He's like, lady, I mean it. Stay out of it. It won't be worth it. She lays her head down on the counter. And she's like, no, I get paid to watch her. And he's like, lady, I mean it. Stay out of this. It won't be worth it in the end. Okay? And they're yelling at each other. And she walks off, and I look, and the guy that just threatened to knife me was standing right there. It was the tall white man with the black cape. Walks out around me, and she walks off too with him. Instantly, my phone. I put Dave on. It was Dave. I put him on hold. I'll let him know he just did it. They opened, and that banker's so mad. He's smashing stuff down. He's so pissed. And I'm too afraid to move. I just had somebody threaten to knife me a few feet away from me. Another lady came by to stop me. I didn't know if they had a gun to my head or if they had somebody else. The Karen that had, the regular Karen would have slipped them a note, call 911 and get the police to get me out of here. But because I had been drugged, I just stood there, froze. Okay, I looked up, and there's a group of people, and I left with them. I'm freaking out so bad. Instead of driving to a police station, I drive 20 miles. African American ladies there. She spit my face. Her and her white boyfriend were harassing me. I go in that Walmart. Another man with black hair, black eyes, and eagle tattoo comes up. What a shame. He kept staring at me. I got away from that freak. I got home, and at the end of the driveway, there was David. He said, my girlfriend's rich and powerful. Her family owns the place. You won't be able to withstand. I told him, no one owns the place. It's not a communist country. Nobody owns the place. So, I'm freaking out what to do. That girl had someone impersonate me also at Advanced America and cost me a job. And when I went up there and verified it wasn't me, they all tried to give it back, and it was too weird to make sure that I couldn't support myself. So I'm thinking, is that his girlfriend? Now, I had already almost been carjacked. I had been almost kidnapped, followed, and ran to link back to that church. Dave told the Perry police the time to break in, they knew where the security system was, and the officer of Perry Police was followed around. They knew he was up to something, couldn't prove it. And slink back to that church. Okay. And then attempt to kidnap me in front of Terry. And the day break taxi. He left me and knew what was happening. Now they're up there. It's them, and they're proud. Kitty breaking them all that it's them, and they're going to be trying to kill me again. Got people impersonating me, people watching me, and they're bringing the originals up there. Now I'm alone. I cried, and I break. See, I feel stupid. I lost my husband. We were married since I was 18, 33 years. He would spoil me rotten. And the first time I make a mistake, he beat the hell out of me. Beat the hell out of me. And then he made it up to me for a year and a half. There was nothing to fight over. I spoiled him like a king. I would wash his hair and his back when he was in the tub. I would towel dry him, lay his clothes up. I'd make him his favorite food, and if he wanted something, I'd try to figure a way for us to afford it. And I loved him with all my heart. I was a good one. And I adored him. I honestly cared so much for him. Do you know, even Terry told me, said, Karen, I know you loved him greatly, or you would not have put up with him hurting you for so long. That was my, where these people who have used this case just to be money off my reality of who I was. I was Mrs. David Hall. For 33 years. I was Jonathan Michael Hall's mother, Joshua Daniel Hall's mother, and Daniel Lee Hall's mother. I had 10 grandchildren. I adored, and they had me wrapped around their little fingers. They would say, Grandma, I want this. And they look at me with those big eyes. And I'm like, ugh. Let me talk to your dad, and then if they couldn't afford it, I'd make sure they got it, or do my best. And 90% of the time they got it. My father had good paying jobs and had money, but it came from nothing. and he had to work for everything. And he made us kids work, go out and babysit, mow lawns, wash cars. We had extremely nice clothes to go out if we had to, and we had the basic clothes. But if you wanted anything else, you worked for it. Christmas, the families that he would help would get more for Christmas than we did. So, I mean, age of 11, I was babysitting. I was washing cars time way before his dad. And he had money. But he made his kids work for him. Besides, I told you I had really nice clothes because we went nice places. And I was to look nice and proper. But if I wanted extra stuff, I had to work. And Christmas, you had very minimal for Christmas. Always wanted to have big Christmases when I was little. So those little ones coming up to me, I want a new bicycle. I know what it's like to want a new bicycle. I want this. I know what it was like when I was little. So to look at their little faces, how us having money, how could I turn them down? And even years ago, when he didn't have those big jobs, I went out and I stocked shelves at midnight so I could buy for them because I wanted them to have the things I didn't have. I wanted to be able to afford. That's why Dave's like, they wrap you around your little finger here and they look at Grandma and say, Grandma, I want this. It's like, oh, okay. My one grandson, Dan, he's like, you're better than a mommy. It's like, don't tell your mommy that. You'll hurt her feelings. Grandmas don't have to be mom. They get to be grandma. They get to spoil them and give them back. See, this was my life, my reality. I may have worked in banking and loan companies and had a career on the side at times. But I took care of my family and they came first. When Dave didn't have those good high paying jobs, when the kids were little, grandkids were little, I didn't get Christmas. And if I did, I got one small thing. And they got really nice gifts. Because Christmas is for children. And where I sacrificed for my family for years. I did it because I loved them. And that was who I was. I was a wife, a mother, and a grandmother that loved everybody with her whole heart. And these people use this case to buy prostitutes and drugs and embezzle from the middle government. And where my ex-husband was abusive, and he thought he could have some younger, and he just replaced them instead of just paying me off. And where I called the hotline to the FBI, I was scared out of my mind, realizing I was lucky to be alive, and it had been them, and by the grace of the Almighty God was I still alive. if I don't pick up that phone, they're here. I've had 4 attempts. I will not. If I don't call somebody, they will kill me. But if I pick up that phone, I can't forget Dave ever again in my life. For any part of this, there's no going back. Being Mrs. Xavier Hall is over. The family unit of having birthdays, holidays, everything is over. My reality is gone. I can never forgive him, even for any part. I can't allow myself to ever love him again. I can't let him manipulate me anymore. Of acting like he loves me and planned this. If I don't pick up that phone, I will die. But if I pick up that phone, I can't go back. And I can never forget. I hope nobody else has to make that decision ever in their life. That everything you had with that phone call, because if somebody's trying to harm you, will be gone. Took everything in me to pick up that phone. I cried my eyes out to the hotline. Gave him about 80 to 90% of that shit. And what had happened and how to find people who have an agent call you back. Knocked out after that for days. Waking up when the phone rang. I had tears running down my face like a river when I woke up. I can't. Who's that calling? And then went back to sleep. And rivers of tears, I'd wake up and just wipe them. Crying in my sleep. Because I couldn't get them. They had me so drugged. I looked over, woke up enough and went to voicemail. This agent, call me back, I can't. Rivers of tears and wiping them. Getting up that evening and eating something small with Dave. Next day, 3rd day, I have to call that guy back. And I'm getting up, sitting on the boards, head swimming. What's wrong with me? I'm too scared to leave. They have people watching me in here. So I get the lawnmower. I thought if I walk up and down the yard, they're going to think I'm nuts around here. So I got the lawnmower out. Started racing with the lawnmower. I thought Sarah. She knew. Called her. Of course, Karen, I'm scared for you. I got dressed. I went out and bought her car. Put that agent's number in where he left it. Had Dave take me down to the mall. Told him I usually, if I want to go down there, cause he wanted orange chicken or teriyaki chicken. Get him a side of that. Drop off the card for Sarah. Then we went up to Apostolic Church of Barberton that night. Paul Beamer, the minister God says, "My God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there." And he actually points at a Stark County sheriff in plain clothes in his hysteria. I walk off. It was that agent telling on me. Dave had been dating his daughter since they kicked in my door. He had been the one with his drug prostitutes, drugging me up also. Photoshopping shower scenes and where that Eric laughed at everybody for falling this on November 18th, 22 at Walmart 62, 2 to 6 p.m., confessing that everything was him and not me. All those tapes before, it was his idea to come up with it, say it, and do it. Okay. We go out and he's swinging at me in the car. You call the FBI. I'm blasted against the door so he can't hit me. And we get home. I run from him. Next day I have to call that agent back. I try to tell him what happened and on agent Bacon. You liar. You confess you're lying you say you're lying or I'll put you in jail. Was there a camera above you? I don't know. He said, you better say it then. Because if I can't see him saying it to you, I'm going to put you in jail. He's like, no, I said say it. I'm like, fine, whatever. The real Karen would have hung up on him and called the hotline. The drugged up Karen did, which is like, fine. And he's like, no, say it. It's like, fine. So I said what I was told. Because I was drugged up and it was him and his prostitutes drugging me up. Okay. And then he's like, what? Would that be to help you? What's your job? Huh? Drugged up Karen pleaded for life. Kept saying they'll kill me. So, made me plead and beg. Then it's like, well, my brother-in-law will see it. He worked at the Pentagon under Dick Cheney. He was actually CIA. And what's his name? He already knew that. He's FBI. He already knew that. He died on working under Dick Cheney at the Pentagon. Fine, I'll help you. He's gonna help me anyways. He wanted the informant program. The whole thing of badgering me into false statements, so I'd be too afraid to say anything of what he was doing to made me plead for my life. And then list me informant, but the $5,000 a month diplomatic immunity. Pete Nelson won't let you crazy. No one can help you. That's badgering. No coerced confession is admissible. You can't badger people into false statements under threat of arrest. No coerced confession is admissible. And then badgering, you go to jail. It's obstruction of justice and tampering with evidence. And then he stole every dime from that case to pay the gentleman's club from Florida, where all those men came up. They're drug dealers, prostitutes. And they helped him run this big scam of hurting me. And where he opened the protected custody case, he sold the locket and let those prostitutes break it, beat the hell out of me, rape me, and torture me, and sold videos of it to make money. He's a sick, psychotic bastard. And he needs to be arrested. Do they not monitor their agents' behavior? Their agents' debts and bless them. They need to. And so I'm trying to get the sheriffs to find that case and reimburse it. They owe me $5,000 a month. I'm supposed to be in the witness protection program, the informant part. He opened it. Lamar Sharp, Michael Roswell, Michael Canton, not city officers, know what officers were actually assigned to me. They would be out when I was out. Let's see. North Kent Jackson Police seen them there at Liberty House Share, June of 19. They were clear out to Rebecca's office. I had my own security team. I'm still supposed to be in protective custody for the rest of my life. For it's a life of peace. For working this case. He can't say if he tells someone. He was just pulling me. People, they're so strung out on drugs from what these people did and gave them. They follow me around screaming for another. Telling me if they can't get some more money out of this case. Some of the prostitutes showed up Sunday that worked for that Henry Mafia. Male prostitutes mocking me and Acme around 315 North Main. How they stole the money. He gave the money. You know who got the money out of this? Drug dealers and prostitutes. Because the agent know it. So that's why he did all this. He was so desperate for money. You know, I had a boss that was a regional director at a major bank. Sweetheart. He was married. He had grandchildren. Sweetheart. He went through a divorce. Okay. He moved out of state. Started working at a car dealership. He got into an alternate lifestyle of being gay. He got hooked on drugs. He embezzled funds from that car dealership. And now he's in Florida's prison. You get messed up in these kind of lifestyles. You'll do anything for the next fix. It's what this agent did. Still praying for help. Some lady, nice lady, watched one of my videos said, Karen, how do you live in torture every day of these people making fun of you? And why aren't the authorities helping you? Exactly. Exactly.